Welcome in, you guys. Definitely welcome in everybody that's watching. Whether you're watching when it first came out, or you're watching months later, years later. Welcome in. This is a space that requires full people on a mission and journey within to find out truth, who they are, and have through this walk in this life have put away things that don't make sense, things that are obvious that they see, falsehoods promoted as truth, decreasing and reverse engineering programs that have been ran on them, and those who are open-minded to it, right? Really, this is what it's about. I appreciate all of you guys I appreciate all of you guys who have taken part. And let's go in. We have a video today, and I hope you like the Eleusinian mystery culture. It lasted 2,000 years. And some people we know in antiquity, I got it right, antiquity, participated in like the Plato's and the Aristotles and many philosophers from the ancient world participated in that reality of that culture, which lasted and actually was very effective within itself and actually brought a oneness and unity, it appears, in a lot of ways, because they talked about everybody was open, right, to and could qualify to go through the initiations that changed their life after going through it. And then everybody that went through it was sworn to secrecy. And some people say, have these mindsets, and I was one too, seeing how what we see with secret societies, keeping it from the public, was I also know there's the other side to keep it from them who were trying to stop you, which the Gnostics did with the church, right? And the Rome, right? They tried to really stop it. And by making it a very much one of their writings that you had to figure out, because it was all symbolism. It wasn't just straightforward. It was hidden in the symbolism, and then hidden under usually earth, buried somewhere. And I get that you can't tell everybody everything, because if they could take it and run with it and make it mincemeat. And then they were sworn to secrecy, meaning you went through it, had to change the secrecy. If your neighbor's like, well, tell me what it's about, you would tell them and they would think they know it all and they'd spread it around, even though they didn't experience it. That's the danger. You need the experience of waking up. Just spouting off like a parakeet or a bird, a parrot, it's not the experience, right? It's not the experience. So as we go, we're going to do a word of the day that's very powerful. Watch this. It goes into a lot of things that we're talking about. We're going to go into this word of the day. We're going to share a screen. We're going to go into the word of the day. We're going to, word of the day. We're going to go into some etymology, right? We're going to go into some etymology, and we're going to talk about it. So recently, and I did a few videos on your reflection on the mirror, what you put out, what emanates from your field of light. You are in a light being housed in a physical, dense reality, avatar, body, whatever name you want to put on it. But you were light that didn't need that, but got constrained in it. And this is all of us. We came here, right? We came here, and if we're honest with ourselves, guess what happened as we came here? We get here, we become little children, we become babies, we're dependent totally on family, and then as we get a little older, we start thinking for ourselves. And there's this old saying that curiosity, and we mentioned this a few times, shout out to James with his curiosity revelation, right? How important curiosity is that if you're curious, you ask questions, why, where, when, how, this reality. Have you ever asked yourself, where are we? How did we get here? What are we? What's the truth? And then come to the point, I don't know really why I'm here. What is this place that I'm at? Where are we really located at? Because we realize we've been told a lot of stuff, and as we find out a lot of stuff that we've been told, there's a song by The Doors, and there's a part of it goes, and they are a liar. We've been told them by those who master in that exact thing right there. deceit, deceitfulness. We see it within the religion. We see it within the education system, just the system, the system, the system, which when I bounce out and get it with, and talk to other people within the world, they're not too bad of people. They may not know what you know, but most people are decent people. But the system paints everybody as it's either left or right. It's either you against me. It's always a duality of verses in a reality that appears to always be prey and predator, right? Prey and predator. War, 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 war. And it's always the regular people that get the suffering end of it. They go fight these elite wars for people who really run the show, and your children and your ancestors and your descendants have many times died because of this. We've woken up and we see the game, right? We have. And we peeped out etymology. Why? It kind of gave you the truth and things you didn't see. We started seeing the words that weren't what they meant. We even decoded a song, Stairway to Heaven, and one of the verses was telling you that it's time to change your road on because there's a sign on the wall, and sometimes words have two meanings. The etymology goes into the English equivocal language, and we talked about how the equivocal language, what it's really for, and now the new, especially it appears that anything in the late 1940s is written has that spin where if you go back and read former, even 1800 and 1900 books, I've been kind of seeing how these 1800 scientists in the 1800s were telling us what was going on, what we're finding out now, we're saying it about back then. You only got funded to keep the dynamic of the agenda going along. If you didn't get funded, it's because you didn't agree with it and you said that's not the truth. These are books that other people wrote in 150 years ago, 175, 200 years ago, 250, legitimate books, which would be hard to find. Some of these books are $200 and $300, $400. So we're getting into this word. This is a spicy word to me. Person, we know what we think what persons are, but watch this. Remember, who are we? This is going to follow up to this. A person, a human being, an old French human being, any one person, modern persony, directly from the Latin word human being, person, personage, a part in a drama, an assumed character. What? You got to be, wow. Didn't Francis Bacon say the whole world's a stage? Right? This is unbelievable. And assumed character, originally a mask or a false face. And this is what we're going to talk about. We talked recently about really the light being that you are emitting these energy from yourself, having this aura field, having this protective, energetic field around you, within you, going through this movement like this. We did the videos of the torus field going like this, electromagnetic energy, propulsion, right? Going like this within us, through us, around us, in us, through us, energetic field, feminine and masculine. And who are we? And am I really Danny? Am I Daniel? Or are these personages given to me, but we know we're really not these names? Kind of like we always want to put a name on God, and he's got these different names, and we say, oh, that name, and he's God. But when I look in this same book, the word God actually means German king and German or German chief. It's actually very cultural to the German language, which English is a baby from, a child of. English language is a child, as a child from the German language, German first, right? German first. So what we see here is it's a drama, it's a face, it's a person, a false face even. Such of those of wood and clay covering the whole head, worn by actors in a Roman theater. All roads lead back to Rome. An explanation of a related to sound through. The mask is something spoken through, perhaps amplifying the voice, so you're not speaking in your very tone. So it's always masking something, which is like a veil, right? Something spoken through amplifying voice, but the long to makes it difficulty. Long O makes it a difficulty. And as you see, borrowed from the word mask has no entry for it. Of course they wouldn't, but you see, originally it was the mask, not a person. So you've been tied into your mask as being the original. They told you you're a person. You're not a person. You're not a mask. Come on now. Come on, you can go by. You're not that which you appear to be. And the language will ham hock you, will put chains on you and make you believe, because it's about bringing forth belief systems. Remember, belief systems are not true. We really go into belief systems, opinions. I'm not one about opinions, because opinions to me are like opiates. Everybody gets addicted to their opinion, but they're not based on facts, truth, or knowledge, or wisdom. They're just an opinion. It's like arguing who the best of the best is. Those are always opinions. What type of music's the best? What type of movie's the best? It depends on what you like. It's an opinion, an opiate. It doesn't make it a fact. It's not a concrete fact. It's what you like. But the person is connected to a mask, a drama, a play, a false face. Yeah, just like we went through this and I showed you before what nice was. Nice is nothing to do, the origination of nice. They'll ham hock the word and give it to you, just like they do all the symbols. All the symbols. We got a bunch of people coming down on not on the swastika saying, oh, that's not the origination of it. And and when you know this, you realize there's a truth before you were given something, and I mentioned this before, which I see more and more as I wake up to the next level of self and really start unraveling and untangling me, is that think about this. What have you created? Everything in this reality has been given to you. It's been created by something outside of you and handed to you. What have you created? Actually, you've created it all. But unknowingly and unwillingly, you didn't know that you created it all. And you say, what do you mean by that? I was even questioning why I say this. What are you saying? Like questioning me that this is a question coming from you is like a third person involved, which we know there's not. But the reality of it is, it's been given to us. The platform has been everything. We love movies. Well, did you create them? We love music. Did you create that kind of music? We have to have jobs. Did you create that? We have to have jobs. Now, you can create the kind of money you make. That's what your power is. But it's everything in the foundation of what we see in this system, the Matrix. And I'm going to go in on the Matrix. I've watched the last movie. I'm watching the first. And I'm going to share scenes and break down scenes into the meaning of what this means for us real, not as a movie of entertainment, as a documentary. In the doc. So when we see this, let's go down. One of the persons of the Trinity, a theological use in the church, classical word meanings, one physical being, the living body, and the external appearance are from light. So your external appearance would be a mask to your spiritual of who you really are. Your energy and light that doesn't really have to have a body, but there's an experience of being caught in it that we end up getting in it, and we are kind of limited in it, but we start waking up to who we are within. That's why the ancient scriptures on every level, from Christianity to all, would tell you that the kingdom and the truth of God is within you. The Christ is within you. Hinduism mentions the fact that people wandered so far out themselves they could not find themselves back to the home, meaning they couldn't find themselves back within to get back to who they are, get back to that would be even the parable, right, of the son, the son that left and came back, right? The what's the word for him? The prodigal. He comes back, but experiences all this experience. And the son that never left really is somebody who never had experiences, but almost like the religious one, but didn't experience nothing, but holding up a doctrine and a dogma. It's kind of throwing some esoteric knowledge out there, but look at this. So this really blows my mind that person's a freaking drama. And I think about Francis Bacon, The Whole World's a Stage. Think about this rock group called Rush back in the day who made an album, a live album called The Whole World's a Stage. And you start looking at these aspects and factors. What are you telling us? We live this life, and we're finding out more and more as we rabble. Who are you? What are you? Who are you really? Without all the external stuff. And the ego, right? The ego loves this. Belief systems, the ego really likes to connect to belief systems and your emotions. What are you emoting about? Emotions are beautiful if they don't lead you. If they lead you, they're like a dictator. Shang Young Ju or Jung or whatever his name is in North Korea. Some, ravishing, can ravish you if you're led by them. They'll take you up and down and around and around and around with that tail. But if they serve you like a nice hors d'oeuvre, they can be the most beautiful thing experiencing them. Let's go to this last part of this. I'm going to jump around and share this last part with you. And this is a movie, The Mask. Remember Jim Carrey, right? The movie The Mask. Watch this. The movie The Mask was a secret message of wearing a mask means when Jim put on the mask, he changed personalities. He changed himself behind the doors. So remember in the movie, he'd go behind the doors. He would change by putting on the mask. That represents going to another place behind a veiled up hidden place and putting on a mask to change who you really are. Because if you really remember Jim Carrey in this movie, when he didn't have the mask on, he wasn't the same guy. This guy was all attention, all eyes on me, getting all this thing, just this so-called in the acting world was just spectacular actor, but he became very egotistical, right? Very, very egotistical, very controlling, very everything about him, playing the roles, right? When you see you take on personalities, playing the roles, actors act, right? And here it tries to say Carrie was weakling and someone was eager to work in. Someone that was eager to work in. Carrie was weakling, proving your mask as yourself, as your own, as an emotional personality. So it represents the different aspects of us, and you put a mask over it. You put something over it to cover you. It's the veil. It can be the ego. It could be something, playing the comic or playing the joker because you're in certain situations, because this is what you go into to cover it. Maybe the hurts, not realizing there's things within you that this part of you lets you not deal with you. So you become something that you're really in your authentic self really maybe aren't or not aren't. Because what he was to what the mask in full bloom was, the mask in full bloom was an idiot. Nobody would like him. But he was attention getting, life of the party, give me the best things, da 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 da, the best girls, best wine, best caviar, everything. But the real him was not that. This is a type of what the mask, remember what the etymology said, is person. You're not a person. You're not a mask. You're authentic. You're the organic. Masks are like AIs, unorganic. Have you ever noticed that when you deal with companies, and it's all over the place now from anything you do, right? Anything you do, that you're dealing, right, with a lot, especially if you need something resolved, you need to talk to somebody in whatever, you need some questions answered, you need to know something, you need some help. A lot of companies, you can't get the help unless it's AI. I'm talking about there is no telephone number to call. There is no natural organic person, not an AI person, right, to call. It's all AI. And guess what I've learned from it and talked to many people, and my experience is, already in that is I find it highly ineffective. I've mentioned many times where you can catch me on, you're going to catch me on YouTube, you're going to catch me on, you're going to find these videos are on Rumble, right? Rumble, my videos are on Rumble. Check out the YouTube Rumble. Check me out on D-Boy West Coast Uncensored on Instagram. There's a reason I'm not on Spotify no more, and it's because of their customer service. Everybody Spotify gave Joe Rogan 200 million, but their customer service, I'm sure he gets great customer service, right? But the customer service is horrid, and I mean horrid. Their 2.1 review rating should be minus 800. That's how bad I rank it as. I was trying to do some stuff. I needed some information because I can be a little bit challenged technically, and give them a call and help me out with what I wanted to do on your Spotify channels that are mine. I had 2 of them, and I got zero help for months reaching out. No number to call because they don't give you a real person. It's inorganic. This is not the only company doing it, but they're on mark for me because what I just said is true about them. But the reality of it is there's a lot of companies like this. Even this, I'm going to call this out. Just recently, you guys would see I had this Transact card cup here. There was a business that was going forth. People were doing entrepreneur. To me, a great idea when you deal with truth. It's a great idea when you deal with truth, right? You're going against and giving people opportunities, and you're going against, I knew it was going against a giant with my knowledge, which was the banking system. But guess what happened overall? They ended up scamming. It ended up being call it out, scamski. Guess what they had? You never could call somebody and get them on a horn. I look at that when you can't talk to the OGs, the original folks, the original gangster, real folks, not artificial, but original intelligence. It's a problem. But anyways, back to this. That's the world, what I'm talking about. This is kind of, to me, even I see artificial. When you have all these masks, remember, I see technology as language even. You have these personalities. The mask represented something. It was a covering. Proving your mask as yourself was your own as an emotional personality, meaning there was no origination to it of really value. You were masking yourself. You were just masking yourself. And I said, this is entwined in the entanglement of false identities for us. The more we mask, and the word person actually comes from the word mask. It's connected to a mask. It's connected to dramas. It's connected to plays, man. That's what it says in etymology. It's connected to a play. Acting. Actors play roles. Actors play roles. And that's TH. If you know what I mean, you'll know what I mean. Actors play roles. And I'm here just to say, you guys are originals. You guys, your spiritual light being is original you. You're in a human body. Why do you think a human body lasts whatever? When people can live a long time, that's great, but that's not who they are. Remember the Lucian culture, when they went through this experience that they went through in their initiation, even drinking the drink, right? They came back not worrying about physical death at all. It wasn't a worry of this. They realized they were eternal beings beyond the physical. And that's what we have to really understand. We've been in a Western mindset that says you either go to heaven or hell, burn forever. I mean, we just debunk that crap, because that's being kind to what it is. I can go into what's the 4th century. This is where it happened, which is true. Yeah, 4th century. Guess where it came from. But anyways, this is awesome. This is the word of the day. This was the word person, right? Let me get off here. Let me close out real quick. All right. Thank you for the word of the day. I'm going to do another video coming up very soon. Follow up with this one, and it's going to talk about the reality of the Kabbalah or the Kaaba. You ever heard of in Mecca, they have the Kaaba, which is like a black box. Have you ever seen it? It is the holy place, like Jerusalem is to the Jews, right? Jerusalem, the temple, the box. Remember, the Holy of Holies is in a box. In a box. This is gematria, and geometry, excuse me. Gematria comes from geometry. And then you have the Kaaba box, black box. We're going to get into that, how this correlates. We're going to have a song. I was going to do a rock song. I'm going to do actually a rap song. And this rap song is a new one. It's actually by an artist called Tom McDonald against You and I. and it's powerful in what it says as being truth. And we're going to decode that one too. So you guys have a great day. Thank you for Word of the Day. The Word of the Day is person. Take your mask off. Find you. All right.